Sean Furfaro here at the Cambridge Hotel and Conference Center along with Chef Aaron Clyne, and we're going to talk about Aaron's book, Travel, Eat, Repeat, A Culinary Nomad's Journal. Aaron, tell me the inspiration for this book.
The inspiration for this book, so 2019, my wife and I decided to kind of drop everything and travel the world.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, it was. So we did travel to 25 countries. The last two countries we were in were India and Sri Lanka. We needed visas for. So we had about 6 weeks of time booked. And then we had our flights planned to come home. Happened to be on the 12th of March. Oh. And as we all know, on the 13th of March, COVID was declared a pandemic. So came back and had a little bit of free time. I had over 12,000 photographs, a whole slew of recipes and stories, and wanted to kind of get it down for own personal use, and it just kind of transpired into what you see in front of you.
Well, I love that this book has taken off. I have a copy. I've made a number of recipes from this. The photos are beautiful. The stories you tell, and they're absolutely amazing. You can kind of feel the journey that you and your wife took. I know we're going to make something today. Tell us what we're going to make from this book.
We're going to make a dish called spicy basil chicken.
I've made that one.
Yeah,
I did. It turned well. I mean, I'm sure on a scale of 1 to Aaron's, probably not as good, but I was happy with it.
So this is a dish that's based off of a Thai dish called pad kar pao, and that is traditionally made with ground chicken or beef or meat. We use all the same flavor profiles, just kind of bump up the vegetable content a little bit, and we use larger cuts of chicken, but the sauce is there. It's got a really good kind of sweet, salty heat to it, and yeah, we serve that with some steamed rice. And
great. Well, let's take us through the ingredients and let's get started on it.
So we start off with chicken. So I prefer chicken thigh. It just it stays a little bit more juicy. Now this kind of top secret ingredient, a good chili sauce with a good amount of chili oil in it is kind of one of the main staples you'll find kind of all through Southeast Asian cuisine. Yep. There is a recipe for this in the book. It's hidden somewhere, so you got to kind of...
There's some digging to do.
There's some digging to do. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to use a little bit of the oil off the top to help saute off all our veggies and chicken.
Great.
And then we're going to use a little bit of the base sauce for the sauce. So we're going to add a couple quick teaspoons of that and just a little bit of canola oil, and then we're going to add our chicken. And as I said before, this chicken is a free-range Ontario chicken thigh.
Best cut of the chicken.
Best cut of the chicken. So it stays nice and moist. And let that sear off for a minute. As I go through here, we're going to then add some green chilies and some garlic, and we're going to saute that in with the chicken. One thing you'll note about this dish is we don't add salt and pepper kind of the whole way through, because there's a lot of salt content in the fish sauce and the oyster sauce and the stuff we add at the end there.
So aside from the vegetables that you've got here, I know you've got a sauce you're going to make over here, which we'll do momentarily. Yep. Right? But what's this ingredient here? A lot of people might not have seen this.
So this is a Thai eggplant. So this right here, I don't know if you know that.
Yeah, sure.
So it's a Thai eggplant. You can find it at most of your Asian grocers, T&T, B&T. Yep. I just split them. Sometimes you can crush them and take the seeds out. I prefer them just quartered like that, and then they saute up. Really nice toothsome texture to add.
Yeah, they really. I really love them in this dish. Adding those in. You can really tell. I mean, aside from what you're making there, Aaron, when you brought this tray of ingredients in, the fragrant flavors, the smells of everything that's on here. Like if you can smell it in here, I wish it could come through on television.
Smell-o-vision.
It's amazing before you even start cooking.
And then we finish this off with some nice aromatics. So we have Thai basil and culantro, or sawtooth herb. Yeah. So I got a full one here just to show you. Sometimes in Caribbean cuisines they call that shadow benny. Yep. So that's it's got a similar smell and taste to cilantro. Yeah. But it's more traditional to Southeast Asian cuisine. So.
And that's what this is right here, right? That's the culantro?
Yep. So it's a good mix of herbs, fresh veggies, and protein. So it's a great, healthy meal. So chicken's just seared, so we're going to add a couple of teaspoons of minced garlic here.
As an Italian, I like the amount of garlic you just put in there.
And then the chilies. So Thai chilies are some of the hottest chilies that you can buy commercially. So again, you use this, make it as spicy as you want. Yeah. If you like heat, My wife really much enjoys heat, so we usually put 5, 6, 7, sometimes 8 chilies in. I guess general household, maybe start with 1 or 2 and see where you like it from there.
And if you don't like chili, Aaron, could you just eliminate this ingredient? You still have a bit of spice with the original oil?
Yeah, it might just be called basil chicken instead of spicy basil chicken, but we can kind of control that however you see fit.
Yeah.
So the sauce is a combination of fish sauce, soy sauce, oyster sauce, a cornstarch slurry, a little bit of that chili sauce that we had there, just a pinch of sugar. I just wanted to touch base quickly just on the varieties of soy sauce. So, I mean, you get soy sauces in Vietnam, Cambodia, Thailand. If you can, try to stick to the region that you're cooking from. So again, this fantastic Vietnamese fish sauce, I wouldn't use it for this dish. I would use this for
sure.
A Vietnamese dish. This is more of a general purpose Thai cooking fish sauce. This right here, I think you got a bottle of this.
I've got a bottle of this at home, yeah.
This is my go-to for any of the Thai dishes.
And the best advice I've ever been given in my home cooking is something Aaron told me, don't be afraid of the fish sauce, because I used to be afraid of the fish sauce, but it adds so much flavor to everything, and it's been incredible incorporating it into home cooking.
So we're gonna start off with just a little bit of sugar. Okay. I'll just put a little bit of sugar in here. Okay, we're gonna add fish sauce, and again, we're gonna add about 3 tablespoons of fish sauce. So again, don't be afraid of the fish sauce. There's 1, 2, and there is.
Best advice,
3.
don't be afraid of the fish sauce.
Don't be afraid of the fish sauce. It is, again, we're not adding salt to this dish, so you wanna keep, that is your sodium content. Okay, so we're gonna add a little bit of oyster sauce, about 2 tablespoons here. 1 and 2. Probably could have made this
precise measurements. Chefs know what a tablespoon is.
Got to put, probably could have made that easier on myself and got that ahead of time. We're going to do a little bit of light soy sauce.
Yep.
So you can find light soy sauce, dark soy sauce, regular soy sauce. Going here. So normally when I'm doing this at home, I would have this already ready to go. Okay, and then we got a little bit of cornstarch slurry, and this is just going to help that thicken up, get you that nice sauce consistency. So we're just going to add a little bit of that there. All right, and we're going to whisk this all together here. Okay, and we just need a little teaspoon of our chili sauce, which we made earlier. So this is a combination of shallots and garlic and chilies. So again, use as much or as little as you'd like. Again, I like a little bit of heat in mine.
We're putting some heat in this, people.
Oh, yes.
We're putting some heat in this today.
We're gonna mix that up. Okay, now our sauce is ready. We're about ready to start adding our veggies. There. So we're gonna add red onion. You can use white onion or shallot. You can pretty much use any combination of vegetables you'd like for this dish.
Yep. And that's the beauty of this, is just to be able to load it up with veg.
Yeah, 100%. So it's a good mix of protein. We're going to serve this with a little bit of glutinous rice, sticky rice.
Yeah, which you've got going over here, right?
Got going on the side there. Steamed it. Had to soak it for 24 hours. I soaked it with a little bit of pandan leaf, which gives it some of that nice aromatic quality.
Great. So red and green bells in there, and then there's some snap peas.
Yeah. And then I've got these beautiful Shogun maitake mushrooms here.
Oh, those are unreal.
So I'm just going to break off a piece of these. I'm just going to put them in like this. You can just tear them in whole if you want to use creminis, buttons.
Yep. And then the rest of this is just the aromatics that you said you're adding at the end, right?
Yeah, 100%. So again, we're going to stir this up until we get a little bit of color. We start to soften our vegetables. Don't be afraid of having a little bit of texture to your vegetables either. They're not going to hurt you. So. And it's a very quick, so what you'll find is they're very mise en place heavy, so they're very ingredient and prep heavy, but execution wise,
super quick.
Again, if we weren't bouncing around and I had this sauce done, this is a less than 10-minute dish to execute, so great if you have some time on a Sunday night to get some stuff done. Monday you can come in and throw it all together.
And a lot of the best food really is that, right? It's all the prep, and then in practice, it's just a few minutes.
Some of the best meals I had, you go to any of the hawker centers in Singapore or Malaysia or street food in Thailand or Vietnam, and they have dishes out in 2 minutes.
That's the beauty of street food, right? You can roll through it really quickly.
That's right. So we're just going to soften these guys up a little bit.
Okay. So while Aaron's doing that, I'll let you know that if you want to try Aaron's food, you can come to the Bruce Craft House out here at the Cambridge Hotel and Conference Center. The restaurant here has an amazing menu that Aaron's done. I think we just have a new menu this week in January. So make sure you come out and try some of these dishes. It's unreal, and we'll tell you how to get the cookbook as soon as we plate this spicy basil chicken up.
We're going to add our aromatics in 2 parts here.
Okay.
So we're going to add a good pinch of these green onions here, that culantro, and then it wouldn't be Thai basil without Thai basil. So this is one of those herbs that Thai basil versus regular basil, like a Genovese, is a little bit more of an anise or a licorice flavor and aromatic to it. And don't be afraid of this. So this will all kind of wilt down.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's green. It's not bad for you.
Yeah. Well, you really smell that as soon as you put those in there right away.
Yeah.
It smells amazing.
Quite fragrant. So we're about a minute out here.
You're gonna need your sauce in a second?
We're gonna need that
I'll grab it
sauce
for
in
you.
1 second. Thank you.
Yeah, that wilted down right away. Look at that.
Yep. And then just gonna give this a quick pour that sauce in there. And then just with that residual there, I'm just gonna add a little bit of water.
This is a trick I learned from my grandmother. Never waste anything in the pot. You put wine, you put stock, you put water. You've got to rinse that pot. You got to rinse that pan, rinse that jar out, get every little bit of flavor out of it.
So you're gonna bring this up to a boil, and then you're gonna see that cornstarch work its magic.
Yep.
It'll start to tighten up. So as soon as this is thickened up,
Look how quick that is.
Good to go. Yep. So we're gonna let that simmer just to kind of infuse that flavor into all the veggies and stuff there, and then we're gonna hit it with another quick shot of the herbs.
Yep.
And then we're good to
I'll
go.
get out of your way because I know you're coming for rice.
I'm coming for rice. So if you get a whiff of the fragrant.
Yeah. That's amazing. Show our camera here. Yeah.
So that's a steamed rice. We've let that soak for 24 hours with pandan leaf. That gives it a really good aromatic.
And just having that parchment paper on there, it's able to just come out of there really easily.
Yeah. And you just kind of fold it up. So you can do this in lots of layers, or you can.
Beautiful.
Okay. Our sauce is about thick there. Nice. Perfect. And now with everything, always got to give it a quick
Gotta give it a taste.
Yeah, to make sure it's there. Some good.
The chef says, seal of approval. And then here's the second hit of the aromatics.
Second hit of the aromatics. Beautiful amount of spice in there. Again, you can adjust that based on your family's preferences and taste. Finish it with just a little bit more of each. We're going to fold those in, and as soon as they are just wilted, you are good to go.
It looks great.
There we go.
I'm going to plate that right over here by the rice. Right.
Oh yes. I'm going to take this.
That looks amazing, Aaron.
Great, quick, easy kind of weekday meal. You can get ready ahead of time. And then just have a little bit of garnish here. So we got an orchid, which is a Thai orchid. We got some of these are cilantro flowers.
Yep.
So just add a couple of these guys to the top here. Okay, some snapdragons. And we'll just kind of make the dish pop a little bit, and then...
And if you don't have edible snapdragons at home, feel free to just plate the dish as it is. But look at that. That is a thing of beauty, Aaron. It is unbelievable. It smells great in here. Spicy basil chicken from Travel, Eat, Repeat. If people are interested in getting your cookbook, where can they get it in town?
They can get it in town. It is on blurb.ca. Central Fresh Market has it. Tough as They Crumb, which is a great bread subscription service. They sell the book as well. Whitty & Co. downtown Galt has it as well. So lots of places. You can get it direct from me, culinarynomadjournal@gmail.com. And I can facilitate delivery as well. So.
All right, and also on Twitter at Sean Furfaro. I'm going to post a link to that I'll pin to the top if you're interested at Sean Furfaro, and I will get you in touch with Aaron directly on how you can get a copy of Travel, Eat, Repeat. Aaron, thanks so much for doing this, and best of luck with everything with the cookbook.
Thank you.